भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवति उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी. So continuing with the discussion on Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 11, Swayambhuva Manu advises Dhruva Maharaj to stop fighting. Text number 18 onwards. Sarkhala idam bhagwan kala shaktya gun pravahena vibhakta viryaha karoti akartava nihanti hanta cheshta vibhumna khalu durvibhavya. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, by His inconceivable supreme energy, time, causes the interaction of the three modes of material nature, and thus varieties of energy become manifest. It appears that He is acting, but He is not the actor. He is killing, but He is not the killer. Thus it is understood that only by His inconceivable power is everything happening. The word Durvibhavya means inconceivable by our tiny brain, and Vibhakta Virya means divided in varieties of potencies. This is the right explanation of the display of creative energies in the material world. We can better understand the mercy of God by an example. A government state is always supposed to be merciful, but sometimes in order to keep law and order, the government employs its police force, and thus punishment is meted out to the rebellious citizens. Similarly, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is always very merciful and full of transcendental qualities. But certain individual souls have forgotten their relationship with Krishna and have endeavored to lord it over material nature. As a result of their endeavor, they are involved in varieties of material interaction. It is incorrect to argue, however, that because energy issues from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, He is the actor. In the previous verse, the word Nimitta Matram indicates that the Supreme Lord is completely aloof from the action and reaction of this material world. How is everything being done? The word inconceivable has been used. It's not within the power of one's small brain to comprehend. Unless one accepts the inconceivable power and energy of the Lord, one cannot make any progress. The forces which act are certainly set up by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but He is always aloof from their action and reaction. The varieties of energies produced by the interaction of material nature produce the varieties of species of life and their resultant happiness and unhappiness. So there are so many energies of Krishna, so many, Vividhaya Shakti, that everything is carried out, all the actions, all the activities in the material world are carried out by those energies. So Krishna personally himself doesn't do everything, doesn't take care of everything, but everything happens under his superintendence. For that also, Durgaji is there. Durgaji is the superintendent in the material world. So, in the material world, just like if you just look an example of a country, say India. Now there are so many departments, so many government officials, so much work is going on every day, every night the work is going on some places, whatever is happening. Now it's not that Modi himself is looking after each and every aspect of each and every work. Not possible. So, but he's a prime minister. He's a leader, chief leader of the country, so he's responsible. But in case of Krishna, it's not that for Krishna it's not possible. It is possible. Everything is possible for Krishna. Nothing is impossible. But he does not get himself implicated in everything. Does not get himself involved with everything. because all his energies, they all are surrendered to him, and they take out their activities just by the desire of the Supreme Lord. He doesn't have to sign any papers. They understand his desire and they work accordingly. How the Lord acts is nicely explained in the Vishnu Puran. Fire is situated in one place, while the heat and light produced by the fire act in many different ways. Another example given is that the electric powerhouse is situated in one place, but by its energies, many different types of machinery move. The production is never identical with the original source of the energy, but the original source of energy, being the prime factor, is simultaneously one and different from the product. Therefore, Lord Chaitanya's philosophy, Achintya Bheda Bhed Tattva, is a perfect way of understanding. In this material world, Lord incarnates in three forms as Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, by which he takes charge of the three modes of material nature. By his incarnation of Brahma, he creates. As incarnation of Vishnu, he maintains. And by his incarnation of Shiva, he also annihilates. But the original source of Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, which is Garbhodaksha Vishnu, is always apart from these actions and reactions of material nature. So Garbhodaksha Vishnu himself doesn't get involved. And in fact, Kshirodaksha Vishnu also just does the maintenance part. But without his presence as Paramatma, nothing can happen in the material. So it's always Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's this philosophy of Achintya Bheda Bhed Tattva. It applies everywhere. And that's why it's called Achintya. It's inconceivable. How he does, nobody can understand. So basically, Swayambhuva Manu is trying to dissuade Dhruva Maharaj from killing more yakshas. So he's trying to give him all this Vedic knowledge. So he stops fighting. Text 19. Sonantavanta karah kalu anadiradir kridvya janam janena janyan maryan mrityu anantakam. My dear Dhruva, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is ever existing, but in the form of time, he is a killer of everything. He has no beginning, although he is the beginning of everything. Nor is he ever exhaustible, although everything is exhausted in due course of time. The living entities are created through the agency of the Father and killed through the agency of death, but he is perpetually free of birth and death. The supreme authority and inconceivable power of the Supreme Personality of Godhead can be minutely studied from this verse. He is always unlimited. That means that he has no creation or end. He is, however, death in the form of time as described in Bhagavad Gita. In Bhagavad Gita, he is described as Mrityu Sarvharashchaham or Kalo Asmi. Krishna says, I am death, I take away everything at the end of life. Eternal time is also without beginning, but it's a creator of all creatures. The example is given of touchstone, which creates many valuable stones and jewels, but does not decrease in power. Similarly, creation occurs many times, everything is maintained, and after a time, everything is annihilated. But the original creator, the Supreme Lord, remains untouched and undiminished in power. The secondary creation is made by Brahma, but Brahma is created by the Supreme Godhead. Lord Shiva annihilates the whole creation, but at the end he is also annihilated by Vishnu. So when it is said he is annihilated by Vishnu, means, of course, Lord Shiva does not lose his position. He is also eternal. But he is annihilated in the sense that when this universe is destroyed, Shiva merges back into Sadashiva. That's all. So he unmanifests himself from the universe because the universe itself is gone. In the Vedic hymns, it is stated that in the beginning there is only Vishnu and that he alone remains at the end. An example can help us to understand the inconceivable potency of the Supreme Lord. In the recent history of warfare, the Supreme Personality of Godhead created a Hitler, and before that, a Napoleon Bonaparte, and they each killed many living entities in war. But in the end, Bonaparte and Hitler were also killed. People are still very much interested in writing and reading books about Hitler and Bonaparte and how they killed so many people in war. Year after year, many books are published for public reading regarding Hitler's killing thousands of Jews in confinement. But no one is researching who killed Hitler and who created such a gigantic killer of human beings. The devotees of the Lord are not much interested in study of the flickering history of the world. So this history is always flickering, is always changing. It's all temporary. They are interested only in Him who is the original creator, maintainer, and annihilator. That is the purpose of the Krishna consciousness movement. So Prabhupada, when he wrote this purport to these Bhagavatam, these shlokas, he just cited Hitler and Napoleon Bonaparte, but now we can cite so many other leaders who are responsible for so much of killing all over the world. But even if they're responsible, they're not the ultimate authority. And soon, if they're not dead, they will be dead soon. That's all it's going to happen. No matter who it is. But this illusion, this Maya, when he covers our consciousness, our right intelligence, we start thinking and we start behaving and we start expecting. I want to be the controller, or I am the controller. We don't, even in the religious circles, I'm not saying religious circles are aloof from them. They should be, the spiritual circles, they should be aloof. But it's so difficult to get out of this idea of I am the controller. Things are working because I am here. If I am not here, things will stop working. No such thing is going to happen. The world is moving right now, and the world will keep on moving even if we are gone. Even if we are gone and come back 10 times and again gone, still the world keeps on moving. The world is not going to stop. But we live under this illusion. I'm the controller. I'm the proprietor. With my signature, so many things can happen. And see how many world leaders are praising me and listening to me and looking up to me. It's all temporary. All temporary. Hitler was like that. What happened to Hitler? Napoleon Bonaparte was like that. Napoleon, he practically conquered the whole world, but when he went back, he was killed in a war in his own city or country. So everything is temporary. Every single aspect of this material world is temporary. We just talk about this planet Earth, which is insignificant compared to other bigger planets in the whole universe. And on this insignificant planet, we might have some piece of land, or we might have conquered some piece of land, which is again very insignificant compared to the whole earth. And then we think I'm somebody very big. We are nobodies, actually. mean nothing. Whatever we have, it's only by mercy of Krishna. Whatever qualities, whatever properties, whatever strength we have, everything comes from Krishna. Krishna clearly says in Bhagavad Gita, I'm the strength of men. Of course, and strength of women also. I'm the strength. If Krishna does not allow, if Krishna does not give us the strength to digest our food, we won't be even able to digest the food that we eat. Then where will our strength be? We'll be lying down on the bed. We won't be able to move. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, I am the fire of digestion. So that is why, of course, we did cover Bhagavad Gita before, or side by side, we started Srimad Bhagavatam also. Why Prabhupada said and other acharyas said Bhagavad Gita is the basic knowledge that everybody has to have. And not just theoretically knowledge, realizations. Before we jump onto Srimad Bhagavatam. Because we will misunderstand or misinterpret the position of Krishna by reading Srimad Bhagavatam only. Bhagavad Gita clearly explains who is Krishna. So Swambhuva Manu is further speaking. Na vai swapakshavasya vipaksha eva va parasya mrityor vishyatah samam prajaha tam dhavamanam anudhavanti anisha yatha rajansya bhuta sangha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, in his feature of eternal time, is present in the material world and is neutral towards everyone. No one is his ally and no one is his enemy. Within the jurisdiction of the time element, everyone enjoys or suffers the result of his own karma or fruitive activities. As when the wind blows, small particles of dust fly in the air. So according to one's particular karma, one suffers or enjoys material life. Although the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the original cause of all causes, he is not responsible for anyone's material suffering or enjoyment. We like to give blame to Krishna that why you did this to me and why you did that to me. We don't give him the credit when we get something really nice or some money or some position when we get. We don't give him the credit, but we give him all the blames when something goes wrong in our life. So it's all because of our karmas. There is no such partiality on the part of the Supreme Lord. The less intelligent accuses the Lord of being partial and claim that this is why one enjoys in the material world and another suffers. This is one of the very favorite argument of people who don't believe or who don't want to believe in the Lord is, oh, if there is Lord, why there is so much of suffering in the world? Why so much of babies are getting killed and accidents and now coronavirus? So apparently there is no God. There is nobody in control up there. But the same people, they don't think twice before committing any crime. Crime in the sense meat eating, killing animals for eating their meat. It's a crime. It's a sin. It'll be punishable. It is punishable. But when we will get the punishment, that's up to Yamraj to decide. But that time when we get the punishment, then we cry, oh Krishna, why did you do that to me? Oh God, why I'm suffering? We are suffering because we committed the crime sometime, whenever it was. Many times we hear this argument also. Okay, I committed the crime, sin in this body, so I should suffer in this body only. Why I have to take birth or suffer when I don't even recall what did I do? That's also mercy of Krishna actually. He gives us a chance to rectify our mistakes, to rectify our sins, to beg for forgiveness of our crimes, and then admit that I'll not do it again. He gives us a chance till death. But if we still haven't learned a lesson, then sometime later we will learn the lesson. We'll get the punishment. Maybe this lifetime, maybe next lifetime. He still gives us a chance. And also, suppose I'm driving a car and I hit somebody. Okay, the car will have some dents or something. But who is the culprit? If I hit somebody with my car, I'm driving the car. It's not the car which is the culprit, it's the driver. So the driver will get the punishment, whether I get the ticket or whether I have to pay for the repair of the other car or whatever happens. It happens to the driver. So similarly, if we commit crime in this body, the body is just like an instrument, a vehicle. The soul is a driver. The soul gets a punishment, not the body. Punishment comes through the body, but body on its own is not conscious of any pains or pleasures. It's the soul that feels the pain or the pleasure. So when the soul will get punishment, it's not in our hands. So, but this verse specifically says that there is no partiality. Living entities, however, are never independent. As soon as they declare the independence of the supreme controller, they are immediately put into this material world to try their luck freely as far as possible. When the material world is created for such misguided living entities, they create their own karma, fruitive activities, and take advantage of the time element, and thereby they create their own fortune or misfortune. Everyone is created, everyone is maintained, and everyone is ultimately killed. As far as these three things are concerned, the Lord is equal to everyone. It is according to one's own karma that one suffers and enjoys. The living entity's higher or lower position, his suffering and enjoying are due to his own karma. So if we get infected by coronavirus, it is our karma. If we get infected and we still survive, it's our karma. If we get infected, we die, it's our karma. I'm not going to suffer for somebody else's karma. I'm not going to enjoy somebody else's karma either. Every soul is individual and they have its own history of, or what can say in Buddhist terms, charge sheet of the crimes that we have committed. The exact word used in this connection is anisha, which means dependent on their own karma. The example is given that the government gives everyone the facilities for governmental action and management. But by one's own choice, one creates a situation which obliges him to exist under different types of subconsciousness. The example given in this verse is that when the wind blows, particles of dust float in the air. Gradually lightning occurs and then torrents of rain follow, and thus the rainy season creates a situation of varieties in the forest. God is very kind. He gives everyone an equal chance, but by the resultant actions of one's own karma, one suffers or enjoys this material world. So he is giving everybody an equal opportunity. He is a real equal opportunity. I don't say employer, but this is the terms that we use in the corporate sense. Krishna is a real equal opportunity. He is neutral to every living entity because every living entity is his own part and parcel. So he is neutral. He loves each and every living entity. Whether we have the body of a human being or an animal or a bird or a plant or insect, reptile, fish, whatever body we have, he loves each and every living entity. And each and every living entity starts on the same footing. But over the period of time, over the period of taking birth in different bodies, we commit different kind of karmas. And then we create our reactions. And that's how everybody is suffering and enjoying differently. No two living entities are same. But it's so difficult to understand. The whole judiciary system, whole police department, they just cannot put this thing in practice. And that's why there's so much of chaos in the world. But anyway, Swayambhava Manu is trying to explain all this to Dhruv Maharaj, so Dhruv Maharaj stops fighting, stops killing unnecessarily the yakshas. Whoever was the culprit, he is already dead, and Swayambhava Manu wants him to stop killing others. So anyway, we'll stop here. See anybody has any questions or comments. I hope everybody enjoyed Lord Balram's appearance day yesterday and the Raksha Bandhan. On 5th August is Bhumi Pujan for Ram Mandir, and then 11th is Janmashtami. 12th is Prabhupada's appearance day. So wonderful, wonderful festivals are coming up. So let's plan to enjoy everything. Okay, this year we will be sitting at home, so we can chant more rounds. That's all we can do. So thank you all very much. You all have a wonderful and safe day. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna, Jai Shri
Prabhuji.
Hare
Prabhupada.
Krishna.
Krishna. Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Just